Hello, welcome. Let us discuss and understand about GitHub Web UI. You can think a web UI like a visual control center. You can control various things using the options available. That is menu options available on the GitHub web page. Let me open the GitHub web page and let us look into the options one by one. First thing is, when you open the GitHub home page, you will see this. So once you open the GitHub, you will see the dashboard like this. Then once you click here and click on repositories, then you will see this particular repositories page. Then you can click on any of the repository. This is the repository home page. In the center area, you will find the file browsing area. And here is this particular repository is having only one test.txt. If this repository has multiple files, it will be listed here one by one, all the files and folders. For example, if I go to another repository, you can see multiple files here, right? This is the file browsing area, and this is useful whenever you are doing a PR reviews. You can click here to see the files which are changed. For example, if I go back here, you can see when it is modified, it will be visible here. It is showing here 4 hours ago, and you can click on this file to check the modifications. And if you want to edit this particular file, and you can click on this particular pen icon, and we can make an addition here. You can add the new line, or even you can delete the existing line. We will look into editing the files on the browser in detail later, but just understand this feature is available for editing the file. You can commit the changes or you can cancel the changes as well. I will cancel the change for now, right, so that our edit will not be affected. Now you can go back to the file listing screen. You can click here code and it will list here. And here is a one more important file which will be present in most of the repositories. In this repository, it is a sample repository. I have not yet added the readme file, but this readme file is a documentation about the project. Whenever new members joins the team, it will tell how to set up the project. The good readme file shows that you care about the collaboration. Generally, this readme file includes setup steps, how to run the test, and project structure, etc. Right? Whoever reads, they should be able to get the overall idea about your project. You can add the readme file here, right? You can add the readme file. For example, setup instructions, you can write here 1 2 3 something like this, whatever the instruction. Also running instructions 1 2 3 so on, right? You can write here. Similarly, architecture details, etc. Like this, you can add the various details related to your project in the readme file, and I can commit the changes. Added initial structure to readme file. You can provide the description and you can commit the changes, and these changes will be committed in the main branch itself, right? If I go here now, you can see readme.md file is added. By going through this file readme.md, anyone who joins the team and works on this repository or this project will be able to understand about the project. That is the main purpose of readme.md file. Also, here in the top right corner, you will find few options here. Here one option, this pin. If you click on this pin, this project is pinned to your profile. It will be displayed at the pinned section of your profile. You can see here pinned projects. You can pin up to 6 projects. One of the real use case of this is you can pin the repositories containing your most impressive project or significant open source contribution that you have done, so that people will know about your contribution and they can know about your skill set. And if you want to unpin, once you unpin, the project will be removed from this section. Now you have one project, right? Now if I go to another repository, let us say I will go to this particular repository and I will pin this also. Now you can see pinned section as 2 repositories. Now if I go to this one and I can click on unpin whenever you want to remove from this pinned section, right? Pinned section means it will be highlighted at the top of your profile. That unpinned project is removed now. You can see the test repo 1, which is the repository which we have unpinned, that is removed from this particular pinned section. So if you want to highlight your work at the top of your profile, if you have some good work in some repository, you can pin those. You can even pin the repositories that you don't own, but you have contributed to that repository. So which is a great way to showcase your collaboration work. This pin feature is purely for presentation or visibility purpose. So this pin function is specially for visibility purpose or a presentation purpose. It does not give you any special privilege or a permission. You can also pin the gits, that is code snippets, alongside the repositories. We will look about the gits later in the course, but remember that you can also pin the gits. If you go here, you can see gits, which is a code snippet. It's not a full repository, but a small part of a code, right? That can also be pinned. You can see here there is also one more feature, watch and unwatch. Here one more button for watch and unwatch. It means if you select all activity here, you will be notified of all notifications in this repository. If you click ignore, you will not be notified of any of the changes to this repository. If you select custom here, you can select whatever you want to get notified. For example, you want to get notified only about the issues, then you can select this one. If you want to get notified about only security issues or alerts, you can select this one like this. You can customize this notification. Here I have selected all activity, and if you select this one, participating and @mentions, whenever you select this one, you will be receiving the notification only when someone mentions your ID with this particular symbol. Right now I will select all the activity. Now let us try to do something. Now I will go to test 1. So this branch is 2 commits behind. Now what I can do is I can raise a pull request now. Now I will create the pull request from main to test 1. Whatever the changes that you have done to main, it will be updated to test 1. Create a pull request for PR1 something, some description, meaningful description you need to give here. Test 1 to main. I can create the pull request. Now the pull request is created. Now once the pull request is created, you can see notification is received here. Pull request from this main. Now you can see pull request from the main branch. You received this particular notification. Now you can merge this pull request. Confirm the merge. Now once the merging is done, you can see one more notification is received. Test 1 to main merged into test 1. Main branch is merged into test 1. Now, if you want to receive the notification, then you need to enable here. For example, now if I say I will ignore, right? Now I have ignored this one. Now if I raise the same thing, for example, I will do some change here. Test line 8, commit the changes. I will commit the change. Now go to this repository, main, test 1. So now this branch is 1 commit behind the main. So now I will create a pull request. Create a pull request. Now if you observe, no notification is received because we have ignored the notification. Even if you merge this request, you can see no notification is received here because we are ignoring all the notification here. So you can enable based on your preference. Select all activity, you will be notified of all the activities, and you can select specific activity also here, pull request, issues, etc. In this way you can use this particular option. And this is the fork. Here this option is fork. It means you can copy the repository of somebody else to your account. Here it is showing a message, you cannot fork because you own this repository and are not a member of any organization. If you are owning the repository, you cannot copy your own repository. That is the reason it is showing this particular message here. Suppose let me open some other repository, for example. So now I have opened some other repository by some other user. Now I can fork this. For example, fork. If I click on this fork, it is showing create a new fork. A fork is a copy of a repository. Forking a repository allows you to freely experiment with the changes without affecting the original project. It means you will be creating the copy of this project under your account and you can make a changes there. Right? You can click here. You can see forked from this particular URL. Right? This project is forked. If you go under your account now, repositories, see, you can see this forked repository. It is showing here message forked from this particular URL, right? This particular original project. This way you can make a copy. Now you can make any modifications here. It will not affect this original project. You can experiment here, right? And this is useful whenever you want to experiment on certain project, certain repository. You can fork and you can freely experiment without any restriction. And here is a one more feature, star. You can bookmark. Star is nothing but a bookmark. If you want to bookmark some interesting repositories, you can use, for example, if I click here, it is starred. The starred project, where you can see, if you go here, click on profile and click on stars. Now the project that you have starred is available here. Whichever project you make a starred, it will be available here. For example, if I go again, let me star this one more. I will star this as well. Now this one and this one, test repo 1 and 2 are starred. If I go here, stars, if I click on stars, you will see 2 projects. You want to bookmark or you want to distinguish certain projects or you want to keep a track of certain things, then you can use this particular feature as well. It will be available as a starred project. It means some distinguishing feature. So this star feature is a feature to distinguish your few of the repositories that you want to distinguish easily, or you want to separate it based on certain indicator. Then you can use this particular feature. And similarly, here if you go here and if you click on this particular downward arrow, even you can create a list here. For example, you can create a list. For example, my ideas, something like this, my ideas. You can make it private. Private means only you can see, and you can create this. Now list got created here, my ideas. So it will get this test repo is added to my ideas now. For example, if I go to here, if I go to stars again, see my ideas. This has one repository, right? If you click on this, under my ideas, one repository is there, this one. You can edit this list, even you can delete this list as well. If you want to add more repositories, for example, I will go to this test repo 2 and I want to add this project also to my ideas. If you want to add this repository also to my ideas list, then you click on this downward arrow, select this my ideas. Now it will also be added. If you go here, click on stars here, and now if you go under my ideas, it will have a two repositories, test repo 1 and test repo 2. Like this, you can create a list as well. Like this, using this particular feature, you can create a list as well. You can make a starred project as well. Forking also, we have understood. Forking is creating your own copy from some other repository of some other user. That also we have done. And watch here, whatever the activity that you want to get notified, you can select based on your preference. And we have also discussed about pin and unpin. Pin is mainly to showcase your important work at the top of your profile. We will continue our discussion in the next lecture. Thank you for watching.